What's up, Facebook world? Ricky V here. Happy Saturday. Good morning. Haven't had a chance to get ready for the day yet, but I wanted to make sure that I do my Facebook Live for the week. Accountability. I've set the goal to do a Facebook Live every single week this week, or every single week this year, and so far I've held true to that. So today we're going to talk about how to double your productivity, how to double your volume this month in whatever network marketing company that you're in. I'm also going to teach you 8 steps here on how to go out there and get any goal that you want in your life. So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it short as well. So happy Saturday to everyone tuning in. What's up, Jamie? What's up, Jessica? What's up, Michelle, Danielle, and Tracy? Thank you so much for plugging in. If you find value in this Facebook Live, please feel free to comment below, tag your team members, share this video because sharing is caring. So hopefully everyone's having a great Saturday. But I'm gonna dig into this. But before I jump into this information here, drop a 1 in the comments below if you're having an amazing Saturday so far. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you're having an amazing week so far. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you're still fired up and still excited to make 2018 the biggest, baddest, most sexiest year of your life. I know I am, so that's me dropping a 1. And by the way, I'm tuning in here from Utah, from Orem, Utah. So, what's up, Nicola? What's up, everybody? So, drop a comment below. Let me know where you're coming in from, but we're going to go ahead and kick this in. Bob Proctor talks about, what is it called? You were born rich. And so I love what he says when he says that every one of us is born rich. Some of us are just a little short on money, right? And so what that means is that we all have the potential inside of us to go out there and achieve any goals that we want. We have the ability to make this month the life-changing month for us. We have the ability to make this month the month that changes everything for us in our lives, right? Like, it's just a matter of making that decision process. So I'm going to talk about 2 things real quick. Number 1, I'm going to talk about how to double your volume. So if you did 40,000 volume last month, or if you did 100,000 volume last month, or if you did 200,000 in volume last month, I'm going to show you all how to make that double, how to get that to 400,000 a month in volume before this month ends. And it's very simple concepts, but they always work, and it takes a team effort. But as a collective, you can go out there and achieve anything that you want. So again, drop a 1 in the comments below if you're excited. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you're having a great Saturday. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you're having a great week. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you are still committed to making 2018 the biggest, baddest, most sexiest year of your life. I know I am. So that's me dropping a 1 because I'm super excited for my life and the direction that I'm going. What's up, Omar? What's up, Sally? What's up, Emma? What's up, Debbie? Thank you guys for tuning in. And feel free to tag your teams below. I always keep these generic, and feel free to share this. Sharing is caring, and I appreciate everyone that takes the time to share this onto their Facebook pages, because I want to make sure that I'm adding value each and every single day, each and every single week, each and every single month, and make this 2018 a record-breaking year. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a guru. I'm not one of those guys. I'm just me, and simply I like to go live when something just lights me up, right? When I hear something that really catches my attention. I'm not the kind of guy that, schedules every Tuesday afternoon at 7:30, have a cup of coffee with Ricky, none of that stuff. Like, I keep it real, keep it very simple. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to double your team's volume this month, okay? How you're going to double your team's volume this month, how you're going to take your 20,000 in volume, make it 40,000. How you're going to take your 40 to 80, 80 to 160, 160 to 320,000, whatever it is, whatever kind of volume. What's up, Kim? Thanks for tuning in. What's up, my boy Nikolai from Norway, my Norwegian brother. We just got a lot of international people on this live today. And so anyways, let's go ahead and kick this off, all right? I talk about one thing all the time, one thing that's truly important, one thing that for me is like just so logical. One thing that, like, if you applied into any area of your life with the right intention, you could go out there and break records in any company, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever goals that you have, whether it's a fitness goal, financial goal, relationship goal, whatever it is that you want, you can go out and have massive success. And I always talk about, going on a pure mission, not just making something so monetary that there's nothing beyond that, right? There's actually a study that's been done, a study that was done where they basically looked at, how much money does someone have to make until all of a sudden it no longer makes them happy, right? Because money does make you happy, but only to a certain degree. Because once you start making 10,000 a month, 15,000 a month, 20,000 a month, anything beyond that is just like money that just keeps coming in. And so if there's not really not that the money stops making you happy, but at some point it stops being the reason why you're happy because you have so much of it. So you need to have higher, different purposes out there to continue to drive you, to push you, right? And so they did a study, and it took a bunch of people, a huge group of people, and they basically did this study on what is the number, like here in the States, what's the number that people would need to make every single year residually in order to just be happy. And then beyond that would just be extra. And you'll be surprised because it's not that much money. It's only $80,000 a year, right? That's about like a little over $7,000 a month. So it's not huge income, right? So beyond that, it's like beyond that is what you need to impact. The mission that you go on is for you to go out, impact, and change more lives, whatever it is that your mission that you're on. And so what that study shows is that money is very small to the higher amount, meaning like when you look at Mark Cuban, or when you look at, Mark Hughes from Herbalife, when you look at, Art Williams from his life insurance company, these guys, past the $80,000 that they made, they went on to make billions. But I'm pretty sure that billions wasn't just their goals. Like Mark Hughes had a goal in Herbalife. His goal was to go out there and save people from having to take these pills that weren't healthy for you to lose weight. Why did he go on that mission? He went on that mission because his mom had died from an overdose on taking diet pills. She started seeing dietitians. She started seeing doctors to see how she could lose weight. They started giving her prescriptions. She started popping pills. Next thing you know, she dies, right? She dies trying to lose weight. And so Mark Hughes made the mission of his life to go out there and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to help the world lose weight, because obviously it's a big epidemic, right? A lot of people are overweight. He's like, I'm going to help people lose weight healthy so that they don't ever have to suffer and take the loss of a family member like I did with my mom, right? Like that was his mentality, right? And so that was his mission. Art Williams, right? Art Williams, his father passed away, and the life insurance company that his father was life insured through screwed over his mom, left her with no money, had nothing, had no retirement, no money, no savings, left her broke, right? So he went on a mission to go out there, because after that happened, he went and he studied a bunch of life insurance companies, and he came to the realization that most of them just screw you over. So he had a mission to go out there and make sure that he could help save families from any kind of tragic event. So he went out and started his own company, his own life insurance company. That guy today is worth $1.4 billion. Mark Hughes today is worth billions, right? And so you got to make things mission driven, right? Like money will drive your team very, very little, right? Like it's cool. Like, hey, here's, $100 to the person that gets a new customer. Here's, new Nike shoes for the person that does this, for this, that. But here's the thing, like if you make a mission as a collective. So let me give you an example. I remember one time I set the goal to go out there and say, hey, you know what, this month we're going to add 300 new distributors to the team, right? That was like the first of the month. This was a couple years ago. I said the first of the month to the end of the month, we're going to add 300 new distributors to the team, right? Because I wanted to double the team sales. And so what I did was I created this little mission to go on for 30 days. I called it Core 300. Like it was a Core 300. And I pitched this vision to my team. I said, we're going to go on a Core 300 run. This means that we're all going to go out there and we're going to do our best. And this month, we're going to take our team of 300. We're going to double it to 600. And I put this mission behind it, what the purpose was, and I set goals for people. I said, this is what you're going to do every single day. I challenged my direct personals. I said, like, if I had 10 personal sponsored people, I said, hey, we're each in charge of bringing in 5 new people this month. Who can commit to bring in 5 new people this month? I challenged my direct sponsorship. My sponsorship challenged their direct sponsorship, and so on. And we went on this mission to Core 300, and people were excited. People were fired up. They said, hey, we're going to double the team sales, because by doubling the team sales, everyone was going to win. It wasn't going to be about me. It was going to be like, hey, if Susie over here was at 20 distributors and doubling it was going to turn her team from 20 to 40, that was going to get her making bigger income, right? So we went on this mission called Core 300, and we doubled the team sales in 30 days. Actually, I think we did it in like 20-something days, but it was just exciting to see. We blew past 300 people, by the way, and the team started to grow exponentially. And so the whole point of it is a lot of people sit around and wonder, okay, so what do I do this month? How do I double my team sales? And a lot of times your upline will say, hey, just go talk to more people. And part of it is true, right? Like you got to forget about managing your team, and you got to continue to bring in new people, get them started, bring in new people, get them started. But at the end of the day, when you set a goal, like if it's February 28th and you say, hey, you know what, tomorrow's March 1st, we're going to crush it this month. Set the goal for your team. Set the vision for your team. Sell the vision to your team. Do you guys realize that you don't just sell your company or your products or your business to people just to get them in the business, but you also continue to pitch them the product, the company, and the plan to keep them in the business, and you pitch the product, the company, and the plan to help them get more motivated to go out there, even grow more sales. And so you want to go on a mission every single month and set new goals, set new standards, set new boundaries for your team so that your income can double. And this is probably not something that you want to do every single month. Go on a little mission thing. But if you do that every single 90 days, like every 90 days you say, hey, this is what we're going to do this month. We're going to challenge ourselves to go out there and grow our entire network by 500 new customers this month. That means that if there's, 200 people on the team, all we got to do is each get like 1.5 new customers, and we're there. Who can commit to getting 1.5 new customers this month? Get your team challenged, get your team fired up, get them excited, and most importantly, sell them on a vision and get them set on a goal that they're going to achieve at the end of the month, because at the end of the month, everyone's going to feel good. They hit their goals. It wasn't even about the money, but they're going to go, my gosh, I did it. I made it happen, right? So, hey, what's up, Amy? Thanks for tuning in. So, anyways, that's the first thing. Now, the next thing is this: I'm gonna walk you through 8 simple steps that you can utilize to go out there and just make any goal happen for you, okay? And if you have a pen and paper, you can go ahead and write these down. I'm going to just tune into these real quick. We're going to just, hit them real fast, and then we're going to wrap up this Facebook Live. But if you are having a great Saturday, if you're fired up about your life, if you're fired up about this week, if you're fired up about making 2018 the biggest, baddest, most sexiest year of your life, drop a 1 in the comments. I know I am. I'm more committed than ever. I'm excited. I'm fired up. There's a lot going on. And guess what? There's opportunities every single place we go. There's money to be made everywhere. There's companies everywhere. There's opportunity everywhere. You just got to be prepared yourself to see those opportunities and take advantage of them. So, this is what we're going to do. Okay. These are 8 steps to go out there and get whatever it is that you want in life. Doesn't matter what it is. And keep in mind, this is not stuff that I'm just like regurgitating from a book that I read. This is stuff that when you look at like the vision board or what I had on my calendar for 2017, the first of 2017, I crossed everything off my list by December 31st, 2017. So this stuff works. So I got excited about making a game out of this whole thing. So my game is called a calendar, and I always pull it out first of the year, and I write every single thing that I'm going to achieve for the year. And by writing things down, things just seem to happen, or things just seem to go your way. You seem to get luckier, whatever it is. But again, if you're finding value in this live, share it with other people. If you're watching this live, drop a 2, and we are going to get this rolling. Okay, so I got my notes here, okay? And this is what we're going to cover. So number 1 is this, okay? So there's 8 steps to going out there and getting anything that you truly, truly, truly want. Now, keep in mind, you have to really, 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 really want these things, because a lot of people will just say, hey, you know what? I want a new car. But they don't really think about it much. They don't really talk about it much. They never write it down. They don't put a date on it. They just said, oh, cool, I'd want that. Well, guess what? You don't get what you want in life. You get what you really, 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 really want in life, and you get after it. So number 1 is identify your dream, okay? Amy says she's a 1. Joan says she's watching it live at 2. What's up, Payne? Good. Thanks for hopping in. But number 1, step 1 is identifying your dream, okay? And a lot of the times we may not know what we want, okay? But so here's a quick way to do that. Number 1 is, and there's different ways to do this, but what I found works for me. You could do it differently for yourself, but what I found works for me is, when I'm struggling to really figure out what I really want, what I like to do is I like to wake up really early, whatever morning it is, really early, put my headset on and listen to audios, or not even like motivational audios, like literally listen to songs, whatever it is. It could be like a Drake song, it could be an Eminem song, it could be whatever, what other cool songs out there, Taylor Swift song, whatever kind of song, right? And Justin Timberlake song, and you plug in your headset and you close your eye. I close my eyes, and I just start to really just let my mind start to imagine things. I really like to let my mind go loose and start to figure out what it is that I really want. And so then when I start picturing these images, because you have to remember, images is the language of the mind. Like, your brain is always going to work through images. And so you close your eyes, you start listening to audios, you start really starting to understand or start to feel or start to see images in your mind of the things that you want to achieve. Maybe you start to see your kids at the beach. Maybe you start to see a beach home. Maybe you start to see yourself walking on stage at the next convention in your company, and you just start to visualize all these things. Like, let them come in, then grab a pen and paper and start writing every single thing down. And one of the things that Brian Tracy said was that if you want your life to explode, you should set a time to write out have 100 different goals. It could be whatever you want. It could be like, hey, you know what? I want a shopping spree of $3,000. I want a jet. I want a helicopter. I want to reach the top rank of my compensation plan. I want this. I want that. You want to set down all your goals, 100 goals minimum. Your life will start to experience breakthroughs. But anyway, so step number 1 is identify your dream. Once you've written a lot of things down, you want to like maybe circle the top one, like the top one goal that if you achieved it, it would assist you in achieving the rest of your goals. So for a lot of people, it could be an income goal, right? You may want a house, you may want a new car, you may want a shopping spree, you may want to travel more, and there's only one cure to all that. That's more money, right? So more money doesn't make you happy. More money gives you more experiences to live a happier life. So maybe that's your goal. So step number 1 is identify your dream and write it down, okay? Number 2 is, well, that was actually part number 2. Identify your goal, write it down, but put it in the present tense. Now, this is powerful, right? Because a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people just say, hey, I want that, right? It's like getting in your car and say, hey, I want to end up in Chicago tonight. And you don't got GPS, you don't got a map, you don't know, you have no sense of direction, you got no signs to get you there. You're just saying, hey, you hop in your car and say, hey, I want to end up in Chicago. You're not going to end up there, right? So you want to make sure that you have a plan, but you want to make sure that you write it down. So step number 2 is make sure that you write it down in the present tense, whatever it is. You know, I am achieving this, I am achieving that, I am driving this, I am experiencing that. You want to write it down in the present tense. Number 3 is pictures, okay? Pictures are so important. This is what we talk about, right? The images are the language of your brain, right? Like it doesn't matter what happens. The one thing that tends to ingrain stuff more in your brain are images, right? It's like you can look back at one of the most worst experiences in your life, and you could close your eyes and you could re-experience it again. You may not remember what people said, but you remember all the images and you start to experience that feeling again, or maybe a good experience that happened to you, whatever it is. But the third thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you start to cut out pictures of the images of the things that you want. Okay, you want to cut out pictures of the images of the things that you want. I learned a long time ago, if you want to achieve any goals, all you got to do is go to Google Images, type in your dream, print it out, stick it on a wall, and stare at it 24/7 obsessively, right? And so you can go to Google Images and type in anything that you want. Like literally, like one of my goals last year was to take my whole family to Disneyland and just splurge, and that's what I did. The first thing I did was I went to Google Images because I had to first see it, right? And then like you got to see it first before you actually get it, right? And so went to Google Images, printed off some pictures of Disneyland, printed off some rides, put them on a vision board, put it on a dream album on my phone. I had it just all over, surrounded constantly. And one thing that I did that was kind of risky at that time was I told my kids I was going to do it. And like that was like a different kind of accountability for me. It wasn't like me just keeping it to myself. I told my kids that I was going to do it. And so there was a lot of accountability. There was a lot of pressure. I had to get it done, but we got it done, right? So number 3 is cut out the images of the things that you want and let your brain get immersed in those. Number 4 is this. You got to write down your why, okay? You got to write down your why. Things just happen in life, but the most important thing that I gotta ask you is like, so you set this goal and you say, hey, you know what? Like, I wanna buy this home for my family, and it's like, what is your why, right? Your why could be your family, cool, whatever. But let me ask you this next question, right? If you don't achieve it, then what happens? Like, what are the consequences? Like, you gotta ask yourself these questions, because that's how I used to trick my brain back in the day when I was scared to talk to someone. It was like my fear of like not talking to them because of what I wouldn't achieve scared me so much more that I just went full throttle with it, right? And so if you set this goal and you say, hey, this is my why, like this could be my why, like my kids, or this is my why, like my whatever it is, this girl I'm trying to impress, whatever it is, you write down your why. But the next thing you gotta ask yourself is like, well, what happens the moment you don't achieve it? What happens if you don't take action? Like, what happens if when push comes to shove, you don't do it, and then you gotta face your family and say, hey, I wasn't able to do it. Right? Or hey, I wasn't able to impress this person. Like, how painful would that be? Now, if it's not that painful, then that's not your real why. But you got to find something that really lights you up, and more importantly, can bring you down just the same. If you start to think like, what happens if I don't achieve it and I let these people down? Because as I've said before, your goals aren't just for you. Your goals affect every single person around you. There's consequences to your kids, to your spouse, to just everything that was around you. When you achieve a goal, they get to experience the success of that. But when you don't achieve it, guess what happens? You let a lot of people down. So it affects a lot of people more than you know when you don't achieve your goals. And you got to set that center for your family. You got to set that center for your kids, is to always go out there, reach out and get your goals. So you want to make sure that you write down your why. The 5th thing is this. You got to set a deadline. Okay, I did not ever set a deadline in my entire life until 2017, because I just thought that if I wrote down a goal and put it in the present tense, and didn't set a deadline to it, that I would never achieve it. That's the one thing that really changed everything for me in 2017, because when I started to write things down and put a date on them, all of a sudden there was a sense of expectancy, right? When you set a goal and say, hey, I want to buy a new house, or I want to reach, the top rank of my compensation plan in my company, and you don't put a date next to it, then it's cool. You can slack off on a Saturday night because you didn't put a date next to it. But if you say, hey, I'm going to bring in 10 new customers by, March 23rd, 2018, then when you're getting closer to that goal, like, you're going to see yourself like have a different sense of urgency. And here's the thing. This is one of the most important things about setting a deadline, which a lot of people don't know. But here's the thing. There's a certain law that states that if someone gives you an assignment to achieve and they say, hey, you have 30 days to do it, it'll take you 30 days to do it. But if that same person with that same assignment approaches you and says, hey, here's the assignment, you got to get it done in the next 3 days, you'll get it done in the next 3 days. Right? So you want to set deadlines that are very aggressive. That way your brain starts to work differently and you have a different sense of urgency, and you say, no, like, I set the deadline by December 31st, or I set the deadline by October 1st. Like, I have a goal to have a 6-pack by October 1st. I've never had one. And so I'm like, and by the way, I don't even know why I set that goal, quite honestly. I mean, now that I look back, I'm like, shoot, I shouldn't have, because now I can't enjoy some of the foods that I used to, but that was just the goal, and I got to follow through because I wrote it down and I said I would, and that holds me more accountable than everything, because every single morning I write that goal down again at the present tense by October 1st. So my goal is by October 1st. I had to give myself 8 months to do it, right? So by October 1st, and so what is it now? Today's March 10th. I've lost I lost a lot of pounds. I don't fit in my clothes anymore. I feel good. I feel healthier. I feel happier. I feel good. I drink water. I eat healthy. Like, it's weird. It's like I survive on 5 hours of sleep now. I'm not like, winded when I go up the stairs or down the stairs. Like, it's crazy, right? But it's like, that's what I wrote down on my calendar was 6-pack by October 1st. And so the moment I start to slack, I was like, dude, I can't slack because I only got till October 1st. Like, I only got till October 1st to get this goal. And I can't slack for one day, right? It'd be nice to say, hey, let me have a cheat weekend so I can go out there and eat as much food as I want to, eat whatever I want to, drink whatever I want to. But I know that 3-day period right there, or 2-day period, could set me back like 2 months. I made a lot of progress these last 69 days, but guess what? By October 1st, it's going to be like different. Like, and I took this before picture on December 31st. It was the funniest picture. I'm going to look back and laugh on that one, October 1st, when you see that after picture. And that's going to be just pure discipline. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's no such thing as like, hey, take this, or you're going to drop all this weight. Because that's the thing, is like, most people don't have a problem losing weight, but they do have a problem keeping it off, right? And the reason they have a problem keeping it off is because they don't have the disciplines to do that. So for me, this year was all about discipline, was all about taking myself to that next level by simply saying, hey, by October 1st, right? Because I could maybe go out and get a 6-pack by, April 1st, whatever it is. But the thing is that, like, then after that, then what? I wanted to give myself a long period of time to not just achieve it, but keep it, and also set new goals and habits and disciplines for myself, where I'm always eating healthy, always drinking water, and keeping myself as best as I can. Because I turned 30 a few weeks ago, and I don't look 30, I don't feel 30. I want to keep myself feeling young, right? Like, I have 4 kids. I want to chase. I always outrun my kids. Whatever it is. Like, I can keep up with them all the time. So I enjoy doing that. So that's the 5th thing right there is the deadline. Okay. The 6th thing is this: determine the activity. Determine the activity, right? So it's like having success, guys. It's not that hard, right? Like, it's very simple. Like, it's not rocket science, right? It's like, hey, how do you go out there and, recruit 10 people? Well, you go out there and you go pitch your business or your opportunity to 100 people, right? Like, it's just a law of averages. It's just a number. It's like, hey, if I want to lose 40 pounds by October 1st, or 20 pounds by October 1st, or if I want a 6-pack by October 1st, how do I do it? Very simple. Drink water every day, eat healthy every day, and exercise, right? Now, there might be a little bit more to that, but if you stay with the concepts like eating healthy, like, that pretty much covers a lot of it, right? Drinking water, that pretty much covers a lot of it, right? And so it's just the little things that you do every day, but you got to determine the activity, right? You can't say, hey, I want to make 6 figures a month by this year, by December, and then just talk to one person a week. All right, you can't say, hey, in the next 90 days, I'm gonna, work really, 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 really hard and make $4,000 a month, and then you're only willing to talk to 4 people a week. Like, you got to be investing 10 to 15 hours a week in your business for 90 days if you want to see those kind of results. Period. You got to be talking to 15, 20 people every single day if by 90 days you want to fire your boss. So you have to determine the activity that you want, right? And so, hey, what's up, Andrew from Wales? That's what's up. What's up, Terry? Terry's coming in from Wales as well. What's up? We got UK in the house. We got Norway in the house. We got a lot of people in the States in the house. That's awesome. So anyways, you all, so that's the thing is like you got to, number 6 is determine your activity. Like what's the activity that you're willing to take? And more important, what's the activity that you have to take, right? Because a business doesn't build itself. A 6-pack doesn't grow itself, right? You got to go out there and you got to make that stuff happen day in and day out. So determine the activity. Number 7 is there. And then number 7 is this. Pick a team. Right? Like you can't achieve success on your own. More importantly, I'm a big believer in picking a mentor, right? And like if you don't have like a direct mentor, a mentor for me for years and years now has been YouTube. Like if I need help with something, I go to youtube.com. Like if I need to work on my discipline, I go to youtube.com and put how to have discipline. youtube.com, how to have a 6-pack. youtube.com, how to eat healthy. youtube.com, how to invite people to look at my product. youtube.com, how to create retention. youtube.com, how to have a champion mindset. youtube.com, whatever it is, right? Andrew says bicep curls equals good looking girls. That's funny. I guess that's true for Andrew. Shoot. So anyways, that's the thing, guys, is like you got to pick a team, right? And so for me, it's like you got to pick a team, maybe number 1 inside of your company, pick a team outside, maybe on YouTube, pick a team, whatever it is, pick a team, meaning like pick a group of people that you can embody, you can emulate, you can talk to, you can, you can listen to, you can really surround yourself with, because it's true what they say, you become the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So sometimes it's like basically just taking a look at like number 1, who do you got to remove from your life and who do you got to add into your life? Right, one of the things that a lot of successful people do is they look at the end of the year, they look at all the people that they associate themselves with daily, and they have to start crossing off some people. Like they have to start, kind of removing themselves from the negativity, removing themselves from people that bring them down. Even if it's people you like, man, like that's just the truth. Like you got to separate yourself from negative people. Guess why? Because you talk to any negative, in fact, you talk to most people nowadays and you say, hey man, tell me about the problems in your life. And you know what happens? They can spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours talking about their problems. In fact, they'll call you again the next day and they'll talk to you again about their problems, right? And then if you go to most people and you say, hey, talk to me about your dreams, they run out of things to talk about in like 3 minutes. It's like sad. It's like they can only talk about their dreams for 3 minutes because they don't think about them often. They don't write them down often. They don't have vision boards. They don't have all these things. I mean, I could talk to you about my dreams for endless hours, but that's just not how most people are programmed. They can just talk about negativity for an hour. They can talk about how their boyfriend broke up with them for about an hour, whatever it is. I just got done watching a video that Gary Vaynerchuk put out. My buddy Nikolai sent it over to me. And Gary Vaynerchuk says, I want to create a show called And, right? Meaning that he's like, I just want to sit here and I want people to call me and say, oh my gosh, man, my girlfriend just broke up with me. I'm so depressed. And I can just be like, and what? What are you going to do about it? Oh my gosh, I just had to file bankruptcy. I'm broke. I have no job. And? Right? Because they're like, and what? Like, what's the point of you even talking about your problems? Like, why don't you come to me with a solution about what you're going to do about it so I can cheer you on, so I can be a cheerleader for you, right? So you want to make sure that you're always like just talking more positive about things, because at the end of the day, like if you're feeling sick, talking about you being sick doesn't make you feel better, right? If you're broke, talking about how you're broke doesn't make you richer, right? So you got to look and talk about the solutions, because that's the only thing that's going to make things better, right? The last thing is this, and most of us are a part of something like this, but number 8 is this: find a unique opportunity, right? There are a million ways to make $1 million, but you got to pick one. And when you pick that one, you got to focus, you got to go all in, you got to go and just hammer it all out. I'm not saying go out and have multiple streams of income, but here's one thing that Andrew Carnegie said. I was watching some interviews, I was reading some books, and on the biography of Andrew Carnegie, he said, I'm a big believer in putting all my eggs into one basket. And how I guarantee that basket will continue to produce golden eggs for me is I'm going to continue to reinvest all my earnings into that basket, right? So let me give an example. Right? It could be various examples, right? Like let's say you go out today and you start to build a network marketing business. If you're taking that income and spending it on soda, fries, and cheeseburgers, you're probably not going to grow a successful business. But if you take that money and reinvest it into your team by running promotions, by helping them grow by giving gifts, your team is going to triple, quadruple. It's going to grow, right? If you bought yourself one of those crypto mining contracts that people are doing nowadays, and every single day where you're receiving earnings, you're just pocketing it for yourself, your little mind is probably not going to grow that much unless you're taking that money and reinvesting it every single day. Right? It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, but and I'm not saying don't have multiple streams of income. Obviously, you want to do that, but unless you're making $10,000 a month in one stream of income, you probably shouldn't add another one, man. And that's just the truth. I'm not saying that's the truth. That has to be true for you, but that's true for me. And so the one thing is that if you go out there and you start building a successful network marketing business and you start taking all your earnings and reinvesting them into your team starts to grow and grow and grow. And pretty soon you start collecting these $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 monthly checks that now you start to outsource to other investments that start to triple, quadruple your current income, right? And so it's all about just finding a unique opportunity and going all in on that one unique opportunity. And, I'll tell you, like, I have different opinions on what a good opportunity is or whatnot. But, for me, like, I believe a lot in Gary Vaynerchuk's philosophies, which is like, it's not so much about, how much you make, but it's how you make your money, right? Like, and he always believes in the long term of things. And so a lot of times the biggest deception that we fall into, the biggest like hurdle or the biggest, where we're blind the most as humans nowadays is where we find an opportunity and all of a sudden we want it to happen now. And the reason why we want it to happen now is because we're living in this world of Facebook where if you go to everybody's Facebook profile on their about section, it says CEO of my life or vice president of like Boss Babes Glitter International, or, I'm the, president of like marketing at my LO, whatever it is, right? Like you have all these like about sections, all these people are coaches, all these people are doing attraction marketing. Very few of those people are achieving anything. I promise you that. Like, that's the truth. And, I hope not to offend anybody, but the thing is like, forget what people are doing, because 90% of those stories that you're seeing out there on social media, they're not even succeeding, man. They're not winning. They're not achieving. They're not growing. They're just out there trying to look pretty on Facebook. But if you're the person that does the opposite, right? Observe the masses, do the opposite, and then you go out there, you say, hey, you know what? We're going to do things differently. We're going to make things happen differently, right? And you just do the opposite of what people are doing. You're going to achieve different results, man. You don't have to be this pretty person on Facebook. You don't have to be the vice president of whatever. I've met people that maybe get 1 or 2 likes a post, making 6 figures a week. I've met people who are getting 400 or 500 likes a post, making $0, man. They still don't know how to recruit. They still don't know how to talk to people. They're just banking on, whatever it is, right? So the point is find a unique opportunity, whatever it is, and just work your butt off, man. Like, just work really, really, really hard. When in doubt, work. Right? When you don't know what to do, work. When you're working and you're done for the day, maybe work a little bit more. But you can never go wrong with working. Like, anything that you start to work really, really hard will eventually work for you. Right? No matter how hard it is, you got to keep working and working and working and working and working. So find yourself a unique opportunity. I believe nowadays, with the contacts that we have on social media and everything, you can find a unique opportunity. 3 years or less. Guys, at 3 years or less, you're making $50,000, $60,000 a month in income if you're really taking it serious, right? And so I'll end with this. Do not cheat the system. Do not cheat the process, right? Like, it's like there's just, how like Jim Rohn always talks about, like time leader, exposure, promote you, whatever. Here's the thing, though. It's like, if you're telling me, man, like, hey, man, I'm dieting, I'm eating healthy, I'm drinking lots of water, 6 months goes by and you've gotten bigger, like, I just know that what you're telling me is not true, right? So it's like, that's the thing about it, man, is like, if your team isn't growing inside your network marketing business and it's been 8 months and you're telling me you're talking to 10 people a day, it's not that I don't believe you, but you're just cheating the system, man, because there's nothing that can go wrong for you. Absolutely nothing that can go wrong for your business. If you're talking to 10 people a day consistently for like 90 days, like, you will have new growth. You will have new customers. You'll have new distributors. But if you cheat the system even just a little bit, doesn't matter, guys. Like, that's when everything just starts going to, right? So the thing about it is this, like, check this out. Like, a mentor of mine told me a long time ago that, like, you can be on a path of momentum, right? Like, you can be working really hard. You can be on a positive mental mind frame. You can be like just top notch all the time for like 6 weeks. And if you miss just 2 days, it resets you back for 6 weeks. right? So don't miss a day, right? And so when I look back last year, when I was reading You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, and he was talking about the Razor's Edge, the Razor's Edge chapter, he talks about what's that one thing in your life that you, like, if you did, like, you would absolutely know, like, for certain that your life would just catapult 10 times, 10x, whatever it is, right? For me, it was always this idea that, like, no, I worked really, really hard Monday through Friday. I'm going to take Saturday off. I'm going to take Sunday off, right? It's like, so this year, 2018 was going to be the year of my Razor's Edge. And that was going to be, I was not going to miss one freaking day. Like, I was not going to miss one day of eating healthy. I was not going to miss one day of drinking a gallon of water. I was not going to miss one day of making 5 new friends on Facebook. I was not going to miss one day of reaching out to 10 new people. I was not going to miss one day of anything. Like, I was just going to be purely consistent, like discipline. That's all it is discipline. And what does Napoleon Hill say? Napoleon Hill says that the master key to riches is discipline, right? And so get out there and make it happen, you guys. I made this live a little longer than I should have, but I hope everyone has a great Saturday. If you're watching the replay, catch a 3 or drop a 3 below. But once again, if you're excited, if you're fired up, if you're having a great Saturday, if you're having a great week, and if you are still committed to making 2018 the most sexiest, baddest breakthrough year of your life, drop a 1 in the comments below, because I want to know which one of my people are committed and fired up and committed, most importantly, to making this year the biggest year of your life. So with that, everyone have a great Saturday. Go out there and make it happen, and we'll see you all next week.